Okay, little Smokies, it's time. Let's get it.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, welcome back to Hot Dogs and Milk, episode 2.
Yeah, we just want to say thank everybody for, watching our last video. And if you're here today, go ahead and hit us with a little like and a subscribe down below if you wouldn't mind. That'll help us out a lot with, I don't know, algorithms or something. Yeah, AI is taking over the world.
I don't think that they actually watched it. They listened.
Well, you know what I mean. There's a picture there. You can look at the picture.
A picture that you worked very hard to get on there, too. So,
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve here with some of that. But not to be confused with worked really hard to create it, because I didn't. Absolutely not. Contracted that out. But welcome back, everybody. We are going to go ahead and start with today's stories. I think our research department actually found a few things for us over the last week that were fairly interesting that we wanted to share with the group. But fun fact about our research department. Well, that's you. Well, I was waiting for her research department to chime in here, but
yes, I'm the research department. So, we have a good episode for you today. As you can see, it's about Poodle Moths and fast food conspiracies. So, Poodle Moth. Katie, do you know what a Poodle Moth is?
well, I'm going to go out on a very, very long limb here and say it's probably a moth.
You are kind of correct. So, the Poodle Moth is something I never knew anything about until I was forced into watching The Masked Singer with my children, having to spend quality time with them. And on this episode, one of the people were dressed as a poodle moth. And so, of course, naturally, I Googled poodle moths. And Katie, will you add a picture of a poodle moth to this episode so people can see it? But
I'll do us a solid here. I'll put it as our thumbnail. So you guys have probably already seen this little bugger.
But he's actually probably not a real thing.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me get it straight. So you brought... I'd like the audience to know that we may have an opening on the podcast for our research department. Did you say that you were going to bring something to today's episode? And it was the Poodle Moth, and you're telling me it's not real, dude?
Well, it could be real, but they've said they have said that there's only one that's ever been found in Venezuela, and all the
Oddly specific.
well, it's called the Venezuelan poodle moth. That's its whole scientific name, and it says it is a possible new species of moth that was discovered in 2009. But all pictures that you see of a poodle moth in Google are probably fake pictures of it. So, all this to say, don't know if it's actually a real thing, but was discovered on The Masked Singer, if you guys watched that show. So, Google Poodle Moth and see for yourself, and let us know if you think it's real.
Wait a second.
I think it is.
So you do think it's real?
Yeah, it's so cute. But if I saw one of those suckers in real life, oh God, no.
Yeah,
No,
I think
no,
it's
no.
important to share with the audience here that what's one of your greatest fears, Simone?
Moths and butterflies, actually. Don't like either. Don't care for either of them. Nope. Don't care if a butterfly's beautiful to look at. No way. No, thank
I-
you.
I'm actually, like I'm really disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was really gonna be something.
Well, it may or may not. It may or may not be something, Katie. Who's to know? I'm putting it out there to the audience to get their opinion.
So there's only one picture. Is it it's the picture you gave me, right? And so at least we're sharing the right one, or is
Well,
this,
there's a lot of different pictures of poodle moths, but I'm just saying that most of them might not be real. So, just saying. I
are
don't
you
know.
saying that there's moths out there cosplaying as this poodle moth?
It's probably a real moth with a bad haircut, like caught on a bad day.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Well, everyone, like I said, if you would like to be a part of our research team,
I would also like to note that I have instilled the illogical fear of moths and butterflies in my children, so they are also scared of these creatures. So yeah, just wanted to let people
oh,
know that.
good. A
Yeah.
generational trauma. I'm glad that you could be, passing that torch on to your children.
So good. So good.
Okay. So now that we've got the fun poodle moth stuff out of the way, everyone, I think it's time we move into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, and that is something we all like to indulge in from time to time: fast food. And we all know that it's not good. It's not good for you. You eat it, you feel like doo doo.
I mean, sometimes but sometimes it's worth it, You're like, I'm gonna eat this and I'll probably not feel good afterwards, but man, do I enjoy it during the time of it.
Well, should you enjoy that at any point, and like any of these fast foods that were places that we're about to go over today, you might change that, because some of these things are a little shocking. Some of these things are unbelievable, and that literally, and some of these things are a little bit believable. So I'd like to open up with KFC. I know I'm a fan of KFC. I don't know about you, Simone, but how do you feel about KFC?
So, funny you should ask, but I live by, or let me say, lived by, no, I still live there. Okay. I live in my current location and there was a KFC right there, but it was recently closed due to the fact that it failed the health department. Funny you should ask about KFC. So it actually closed down and they tore all the signs off the building and it's not there anymore. But as a consumer, I do like KFC's biscuits.
Oh, really?
Of course I do, with honey and butter.
I'm not a fan. I really, they taste weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about their biscuits.
Okay, so how do you feel about their chicken?
Chicken's good. I'm not gonna lie. I like their chicken. And controversial opinion here, I prefer the original chicken over crispy. All right, I know.
No.
I know. I like the flavor of it is why. I think there's more seasoning, I feel like, in the original chicken. But nonetheless, have you ever gone to KFC and got this giant piece of chicken?
I have.
It's like the Costco rotisseries, how giant they are. It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, and they're natural.
Well, one might say that they might be, taking some steroids. But in all seriousness, there was an actual theory that KFC was using mutant chickens for their meat, dude.
So I just picture a chicken that's like taking a bunch of steroids and is like lifting a bunch of weight. So what does that even mean?
Mutant chicken at KFC. Wow. None of these things are, of course, this is allegedly conspiracy, whatever, right? Like this isn't anything, but just mutated chickens that they use, people who get double legs, people who get excessively large breasts. And I'm using that in the, and the non-housewives of Atlanta term, but that was a big thing. And it makes you think, even if it is that bad? Just like, are there ill effects from that? Like, I don't know. All my chicken looks pretty regular that I cook at home. So,
I'm coming from a person, if you don't know this about me, is very cautious about what meat I eat. I'm not a vegetarian. I have to say that this is a weird trait that my dear, dear mother has passed on to me. I'm weird about meat. So reading all of these stories has really, really, just drove that point home. I don't eat meat at Chipotle. Don't really eat meat anywhere, but I do like a good Arby's roast beef sandwich. Beef and cheddar.
you would. You would eat the Arby's sandwich. It's going to be a hard pass for me. You can have those meats, which is very strange to me. You won't eat Chipotle's meat, but you'll eat an Arby's roast beef sandwich.
Yeah, and actually someone that we both know, Katie, worked at Arby's. And they stated that the meat would be like green. And after even hearing this story, I still will eat an Arby's sandwich, but will pass on the chicken
Hold on
and
a second.
steak at Chipotle.
Okay, well, this is the first report I'm hearing of green meat served at Arby's.
Well, it's green when it comes out of the package before they cook it. Yep. It's a true story. Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure that this is based in fact. This is third party, right?
No. Well, yes, technically it is third party, but a very credible.
Someone we know worked at Arby's. Is someone you? Is that your way of saying it was you?
No.
Are you a whistleblower right now?
It's a credible source. Okay.
Okay.
So, but to preface, thank you. This was a while ago.
Oh, so back when, food regulations weren't as strict back in 2005.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, well, since we were talking about the old dingle-danglies of the chickens, and by that I mean breasts. I think this is a great opening to the next theory, that there were people saying that eating the Impossible Whoppers from Burger King was resulting in men growing breasts because of the high levels of estrogen in the fake meat.
So, great lead in with the dingle dangles, by the way. That was a perfect transition.
Appreciate the support.
To this theory. Have you ever tried the Impossible Whopper?
Okay, so yes, I did. The thing is that I don't like a regular Whopper, so I'm not sure what I was expecting out of that. I already had breasts, though, so I cannot confirm nor deny whether or not the Impossible Burger does do that.
So I also am not a Burger King fan myself. Although they used to have really good mini cinnamon rolls for breakfast that I would eat all the time. Those were delicious. They don't have those anymore. But I've never had an Impossible Whopper. But let me ask you this. On the contrary, what if you wanted to have bigger boobs? Would you go eat the Impossible Whopper? Maybe that could be helpful. Just saying.
Well, of the two of us sitting here today, who could actually test this theory?
So
And I'm gonna.
my homework is to go eat an Impossible. Maybe if I eat like one every day for like a week, and then we could circle back.
I'm not sure. Okay, so a couple of things. First, I'm not sure that that's even enough time to assess that. Second, if you were to extend that, I'm sure from a health perspective, that's not probably going to be good for you. And third, and most importantly, if you extend the experiment, you could potentially get larger breasts just from eating fast food constantly and gaining weight, I would think. Right? But I mean, if it's for science, if you're willing to do this for science, I support you.
Thank you.
I support you now, and you will need to find some support for those big old breastilis that you'll be getting from the Impossible Whoppers later.
I'll have to try one just for science. But I'll report back on that.
I mean, I would say if you're going to try one, it would just be to try it.
Yeah, I've never had it. I've never personally eaten any Impossible meat. So maybe I should try it because, as I just said, I'm not a big meat eater. So maybe this is a good thing for me.
Well, speaking of weird meat, what about McDonald's chicken nugs, man? Them little nuggy nugs.
So
What do you
I
do you like
saw, no, I will not, no, 100% will not eat McDonald's chicken nuggets, but I think that comes from a place of being a little weary of meat in the beginning. But I also remember the story coming out of the pink slime in the chicken nuggets, and that they were like made of all the, no, makes me a little gaggy to think about. So I wouldn't eat, don't eat, nope.
All right. You say pink slime. I know what you're talking about. And I thought that was footage from a hot dog factory. Speaking of our podcast, Hot Dogs and Milk, you know, I'm a fan of hot dogs. And I'm not even just talking about the all beef quality hot dogs. You know, I'm talking the lips and ass. I'm talking the poopy parts. I like the way those hot dogs taste. Nothing will deter me from that.
So you prefer the pieces of whatever it is.
That's just what people say. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going in it with the intentions of thinking, yeah, dude, I'm going to eat this nasty meat material, but I like the way it tastes. It's like bologna, you know? I like bologna.
No. And so just to give an insight about, absolutely not. Just to give an insight about why we're called Hot Dogs and Milk is Katie, as she just said, likes to sit down and enjoy a cold glass of milk with some hot dogs on the side, which I think is very disturbing, in my opinion.
Okay, hold on a second. Now, I think it's important to note that this is not a meal that I eat all of the time, but I choose to not consume liquid calories unless it's a protein shake or the occasional glass of milk. And so should I be in the mood for some hot dogs, not in milk, hot dogs and milk, I may have a glass of milk with a nice little hot dog. And this is carried on.
Right. And it's important to note for the listeners that you do eat them in buns, not just like Gaston in Beauty and the Beast drinking eggs. That's how I pictured you eating hot dogs in my head.
If I had the kind of talent to drink hot dogs, I wouldn't be doing a podcast on the side and still have a full-time job. Just gonna put that out there.
That's why I needed some clarification because I wasn't sure.
So back on the pink slime in the nuggets, not the ones going down my gullet on the occasion. That is the visual. I know. For us to just be a listening podcast, I know you all just pictured all of that. My apologies. So apparently there was some theory that nuggets were made with this pink slime, right? And so, do you know what McDonald's did, dude? This was such a theory that they came out and released behind-the-scene footage of their chicken nugget factory. And when I watched this
Did it
footage,
look good? No. Ugh.
no. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. You could have stuck with the original pink slime. You would have been in the same position you're in now. The one thing I took away from that was I know why the chicken nuggets at McDonald's are different than others, right? Like than Wendy's and all these other places. You know, that skin? Oh, God. It's not skin.
Ew.
It's tempura batter. The
Yes.
bastards are cheating. Of course, it's glorious. That's why it's so good. So, for all you listeners at home who don't want to continue to eat pink slime meat or whatever it is that they released in that footage,
Oh, God.
it was like a stamp making the little boot-shaped nuggets. You know, when I was a kid, I thought I thought it was a chicken foot.
I
But it
could
was the
see.
boot.
I could see that.
So, yeah, if you want to make those at home, though, just get yourself some ground chicken, which in itself is disgusting and also looking a little pink slimy for the record. And then you can dip it in tempura batter. Fry it up. Take all the nutritional value out of it. Yep.
I mean, I am a consumer of McDonald's, not myself, but I occasionally will get the kids Happy Meals, and they love the chicken nuggets. So, I don't know.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. McDonald's nuggets approved by kids. Just kidding. You didn't hear it here first. Every child, I'm pretty sure, likes a McDonald's chicken nugget. I do have one more thing that you had brought forward that I thought was really, really interesting as far as some marketing conspiracy type things with some big corporations. And you know who that was? The old Buck. The old
Yeah.
Starbucks. I realized I said Bucks and then immediately thought of Buc-ee's. Love the fact that there's one out in Colorado now. Excited to visit.
Yeah, I heard it's a pretty happening place still.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to go get some beaver nuggets. I'm going to be honest with you. I told Nick that, and you know what he says? What's a beaver nugget?
What
And I
is a
looked at him.
beaver nugget?
I refused to answer him, and he was like, is it like, I thought you weren't supposed to eat beaver meat. First of all, context is everything, right? Nobody should be eating beaver meat, I don't think. But also, imagine coming into that conversation from outside and not knowing we were talking about Buc-ee's. But from my understanding, I think they're like little, little like corn puffs or something with some type of seasoning. I think I'm 99% sure it's not beaver meat.
Well, maybe beaver meat's in chicken nuggets. Who knows? Who's to say?
It may be chicken. Let's be honest. But the Bucks, back to it. The Bucks, Starbucks. Did you know? I gotta ask you something. So I don't drink coffee. All right. So for all the listeners out there who drink coffee, go to the old Starbucks. I don't go there, but when you go there, they write your name on the cup, right? Have you ever been to Starbucks before and you know, ask them for a coffee and they put your name on the cup and it's spelled wrong?
Yeah, so for all of you that don't know, I actually worked at Starbucks for like 5 years. So if you want to know any secrets about the old Bucks, just let me know. But I also am not a coffee consumer, but I do go to Starbucks because my 5-year-old's addicted to it. Parenting I could give you some parenting advice later. But I went to Starbucks once and they asked for my name. I said it was Simone. They wrote it down. They called my name and I went to pick up my cup, and on the cup it said semen, or they spelt it SEMON, which I would pronounce as semen. How would you pronounce that?
Well, I thought you were going to say that because you worked at Starbucks and struggled with spelling, that this was all a tie to this. But I like where this is going. I would, in fact, immediately think of semen, but know that it's not spelled that way.
Well, so after I got this cup, I immediately took a picture of it, right? Put it all over the old social because I thought it was pretty funny. And so I put it out there for everybody to see.
And that's what I'm talking about, dude. So in this story, they talk about this whole misspelling of the names is on purpose for marketing. Because when exactly what you did, so they spell your name wrong, you take a picture, you put it up on the old gram or the tickety talks or the tweets or whatever it is, or X, which they really need to work on that. Like how post it on X. At any rate, that's the whole point. So then everybody else sees it, it intrigues them, and they go to their Starbucks, or it's free advertising, free marketing, right? You hear the whole saying, bad press is good press. No press is not good at all. So I think that's pretty wild. Also pretty cheap. Shocked that a corporation would be, willing to do something like that.
All about that money.
But I have to ask you, since you worked there for 5 years, you sit here and you offer up all your little trade secrets. So tell me, did you intentionally misspell people's names, or did they hire you because of your spelling inefficiencies, and so they capitalized off of that?
So, little side note, I am one of those people 100% that will send a text message with things misspelled, and it is your responsibility to figure out what I'm saying. Now, while I'm typing at work, oftentimes, my Microsoft Teams will say, "Are you typing in German?" I'm not typing in German. I don't know German, but it asks me that, and I find that quite rude and judgmental, to be honest with you.
You know what I think we need to do? I think we need to write Bill Gates about this.
Why is it German?
Well, odds are, whatever you were typing was closest to that language of any of the languages. I mean,
and just to be clear, I can write professionally, but oftentimes when I'm sending a text message or a Teams message, it's just happens, misspelling.
You prefer to lead a life of mystery, Is it a good thing that you're asking or sending? Is it a bad thing? We may never know. That's the gamble.
It's true.
Was it 9-1? Or was she just asking a question and switched to her numbers instead of, letters?
I like to leave it up to interpretation, so. But to answer your question, I didn't misspell people's names wrong. No, I would say that's not. But you know what we would do at Starbucks if we
if you say anything that has to do with poop,
it's not
we're ending this recording.
No, if a customer came in and they asked for coffee, just regular coffee, right? And they were rude, or even like a latte, a fancy drink, and they were rude to us, we would put decaf in their coffee instead of actual regular like espresso shots. So they would be getting decaf. So jokes on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
The scandal. And the fact that you also considered a latte a fancy drink. What?
You don't think it is?
Well, I mean, it's a Starbucks. Everything's a Frappuccino or or a latte or a cappuccino, or what's the difference between a frappuccino and a cappuccino? Don't answer that. It's fine. I don't care.
Well, I know. So if you really want to know, I can tell you.
All right. Is a frappuccino cold and a cappuccino is hot?
A cappuccino? Well, yeah, a frappuccino is cold, a cappuccino is hot, and a cappuccino is like all foam pretty much, not any like liquid. See?
So it's just
Got-
foam.
Got
People pay for
of,
foam.
got lots of knowledge up here about useless things like Starbucks drinks. So
Throughout this process, I think you've redeemed yourself slowly. At the start of this episode, we were looking for a new research department, and I think over time you've slowly you've re-earned that title again. Maybe we might be able to work with you just based off your Starbucks knowledge alone.
see, I come with lots of talents, writing in German on Teams, Starbucks knowledge. So
Add that to your resume. Don't forget. So yeah, as far as that goes, we've gone over a few of these, and I think at this point we don't want to lead you guys on too much and give away too much, but please again hit us with a like, a subscribe, and be sure to tune in next week. We're going to have, of course, another, I'm sure, very interesting podcast in store for everyone. And just make sure that you leave any comments below what you think of some of these theories we talked about today with these fast food joints. And, well, I mean, is Starbucks fast food? Well, you decide.
Me or the listeners? Because I don't know what it is.
Well, that was for the listeners, but you too, Simone. I imagine you'll play this back and probably think about it a little.
Yes, thank you for spending some time with us. I'd like to leave a little homework assignment. Do you think the poodle moth is real? And what do you think McDonald's chicken nuggets are made of?
Yeah, comment below, everyone. And if you have any requests, special requests around things that you'd like us to cover that are around strange news, conspiracy theories, anything of that nature, please comment below, because our research department's monitoring our comment section, and we'll be taking some of those suggestions if any of them really jump out. So,
See ya.